Hello and welcome to this presentation of Vitro CAD. We will find out who we are and what we do. Vitro CAD is an on-premise engineering data management system based on Microsoft SharePoint and Microsoft SQL Server. All project metadata is centrally stored in SharePoint to prevent data loss, ensuring version control and an up-to-date audit trail. Companies involved in architecture, design or construction usually already have a folder structure, enabling them to manage drawing projects. Let us look into Vitro CAD structure. Vitro CAD has 4 levels of structure elements. Going from the top, they are Site, Library, Project and Project Folder. The highest structure level called a site, and it comes from Microsoft SharePoint. You can have a number of sites in Vitro CAD. Usually, one site corresponds to one company location. In our example, we use single site called Project Site. All users' role and logins set up at site level. As you can see, we create 3 groups who can use our project site. Site visitors, people who have read-only permissions. Site members, those who work with project documents. And site owner. I keep order here. Next element of project infrastructure called library. It may be convenient to classify your project at library level as this year projects, archive projects or VIP customer projects. Here I have 2 libraries, Vitro CAD Project Library and Vitro Archive Library. Going further, we'll find next structural element called project. It's the main working element of document management infrastructure. Usually it contains all documents and drawings belong to the same project. It's similar to Windows folder, but has a number of distinguished features. To understand the difference, let us open this project. As you can see beside standard name field, here you have all necessary information that's required by engineering project management. Name of the project, project manager, customer name and address, and so on. Changing type to folder, you can see how much is lost. Inside project we have project folder. Usually project folders classified by division, stages or project phases. I would like to know who is responsible for architectural, electrical or plumbing part of my project. Let me show what users' roles we have in Vitro CAD and different types of system interface available for each role. Vitro CAD has 3 basic roles or logins. Engineering Document Management Administrator is the first role. He is responsible for system workflows and templates. He creates new users and manages user rights. Next role is a project manager. He creates and manages project structure, project team and user rights for documents and folders. Usually, there are a number of project managers in the company. Final role is a user, a person who works with the documents and drawing. Most of company's employees, architect, designer or constructor, all of them are users of the system. Users have 3 ways to work with data. The first and the most powerful way is to work via portal or web interface, using Internet Explorer or any other browser. The second and the most popular way is to work through CAD plugins. And the final and the most convenient way is to use Windows Explorer. This allows Vitro CAD users to work with documents and drawing through a very familiar interface. System administrator and project managers use web interface to make initial setting and to control and manage system workflows and templates, to create a new user and to manage user rights. Generally, users working with documents and drawings do not need to use web interface. The system operations are transparent for users when they use Windows Explorer or CAD plugins. Next step is Vitro CAD integration with Microsoft Windows Explorer. When Vitro CAD is correctly installed, you can find Vitro CAD repository on your computer as a hard disk. The system will ask you to log in during first start. In my example, I'm using my Windows login in order to reduce my efforts, but you can have a separate login structure if you need. A user can navigate through a repository with the familiar Windows Explorer interface to get access to his files. Besides usual Windows Explorer features, Vitro CAD adds specific features and functions required by engineering document management. As you can see, Windows Explorer has a number of additional columns to serve the purpose of engineering document management. First column shows the name of the document as usual, but document icon has additional tick, either red or green. Green tick means that this document is checked into the repository and available for editing. Red tick means that this document has been checked out from the repository and is being edited by someone now. If there are no tick, that means you never synchronize this document. If you would like to understand who is now editing the document, please have a look at the second column and find the person name. Actual document version can be found in the third column, and you can see how many times it has been revised. In addition to standard Windows Explorer function, you can use additional engineering document management functions as checkout, check-in, or undo checkout. When you checked out a document, this section will lock your document into the system and it will be assigned to you. No one will be able to save his independent version of this document until you checked it back into the system and release it. If you are not satisfied with your changes, you can undo checkout and leave initial version of document in the system. You can start approval workflow directly from here by right-click. Usually, CAD users work on a local workstation using an on-premise CAD application and locally stored files. For effective collaboration, it's important not only to know who is working with the file and what file version is up to date, also have the ability to open the file even if somebody is working on it, or to work with the local file when there is no connection to the repository. To correspond to the requirements of document management and collaboration, a local folder called Vitro automatically created on the workstation. You can see its path on screen. As a user opens a document for the first time, a local copy of this file automatically saved from Vitro repository to this folder, and the system starts document version monitoring. You can see document status in the column Synchronized as yes or no. Yes means that you have your local file is up to date. No means that you never opened this file and you don't have it on your local workstation. To work with a document, a user has two options. First is to check out a document from Vitro CAD repository and lock it for any changes. Second is to use Open button to get a local copy of a file. Let's see an example. I'm Max and I'll check out a CAD document from Architectural Project folder. Right, now I have a monopoly for working with it. In Windows Explorer, you can see that Max checked out this document. As Max finishes editing and checking a document into a repository, a system automatically synchronizes files and keeps an up-to-date document version. You can see that after check-in, actual document version changes from 2 to 3 and my comment saved. Sometimes it's necessary to get an access to the data in the file checked out by someone else. Let us open a document checked out by my colleague. As you can see, I cannot check it out, but I can open my local copy and work with data. I would try to check in the document. The system doesn't allow me to do that. To speed up the process, you can synchronize the whole folder. All three file status changed to yes, and the files copied to my local Vitro folder. When you are trying to open or check out a document, Vitro CAD version control function checks the document versions and asks you, would you like to open a main document version from a repository or your edited local version? In basic shipment, Vitro CAD has one direction of synchronization, as a repository version considered main up-to-date version of a document. Going further, let me show you how Vitro CAD helps users create a new project with project templates. A user with the rights of project manager makes the initial setting with the help of Vitro CAD web interface. To save your time and energy, Vitro CAD provides project templates, allows you to create your own unique project infrastructure and then save it as a project template for future use. Let us open the company site and the library where you would like to create a new project. When I clarified the place and created a project folder, I need a short name to identify a project. Project folder should be different from simple Windows folders, according to project infrastructure. I'm changing folder type to project and a project library card became available for filling. Library card fields are set up in a Vitro CAD templates, and with the help of SharePoint, you can easily modify them to correspond to your needs. Very seldom you create your project from a blank documents and folders. Usually, a company has CAD standard describing project folder's name and structure. To create a project structure, I open a template and here I can select all necessary folders. As you can see, my project folder structure has been created successfully and is ready to use. Vitro CAD has plugins for major CAD applications and that allows designers to use Vitro CAD functions without switching windows. Vitro CAD has been integrated with AutoCAD since its 2004 version. Plugins are available for AutoCAD, AutoCAD Civil 3D, AutoCAD Inventor, and AutoCAD Revit. We support BricsCAD version 11, 12, and 13, and you can find us on BricsCAD's website in Application Catalog. We support AutoCAD from version 10 to version 17. Let us see what Vitro CAD functions included into plugin. When you install Vitro CAD plugin, it appears as a tab in a menu and contains all available features. In addition, you can activate an icon bar and place it where you like. With the help of Vitro CAD plugin, you can log into the system without leaving the application and add a new document into the repository. One of the most important features of Vitro CAD is a document version control. A user checks out a drawing from the repository and gets it for his exclusive use. While he is working on a document, the document is locked for any other changes. When the necessary work is done, the file can be checked in back for the team to access the latest up-to-date version. During checking procedure, a system will ask you to complete a comments. Here, you can write any necessary information you would like to share with the team. Later, you can find these comments in document revision form in Windows Explorer. If you are not satisfied with current changes, you can undo checkout and leave initial document in the repository. Vitro CAD automatically extracts attributes from CAD drawings, including even documents with multiple layers and layouts. Vitro CAD automatically acquires database properties from CAD application title blocks and revision, as well as attribute data from many different body templates. As you see, I have just synchronized title block data, getting information from project library card. A user can start the approval process directly in a CAD application, without leaving their work until the drawing is completed. This dramatically reduces design time and saves designers' energy. Vitro CAD supports a number of workflow processes. Vitro CAD plugins allow users to work directly with external references, finding, inserting, editing, and updating them as needed. You can insert a new external reference or update an existing XREF. Here was the access to XREF function from AutoCAD plugin, and now let me proceed with live demo on how Vitro CAD supports external references. You can see my house here and 7 XREFs. I'll turn them off and here is the main drawing. Making all of these XREFs, I've tried to simulate the usual problem a designer being faced while working with XREF. There's a mix of attached and overlaid XREF with full, relative, or without path. Two of them have embedded folders, and I have two mistakes here. First is a dot in the end of car's name, and second will be toilet pan. I need toilet pan to show you what's happened when file path is lost. I will rename the file to lost toilet pan, and let us check system behavior. I will reopen my file, my house project, and as you can see, AutoCAD has lost all toilet pans. Now all my data is stored on the local workstation, and I will show you how to save my project to the Vitro CAD repository. Now I open Vitro CAD tab and click on Add Document. While adding document into the repository, Vitro CAD automatically replaces XREF full path for the relative path. The system asks me to choose the folder. For this case, I've prepared the special folder named XREF Demo. During next step, system analyzes XREF and makes a report on the problems. All white records means everything is good and references will be transferred into the system. In red, you can see two problems with XREFs. First are two dots in the name of car's file. Let me click on the red and correct the file name. Second problem is found with lost toilet pan file. You have two options here. First, you can leave mixed XREF and your file will be recorded with this mistake and you can correct it later. Or you can find a correct file in the repository and the system will create XREF automatically. I will find lost toilet pan in the nearest project. As you can see, my house plan was successfully stored in the repository. All XREF files and all embedded folder structure have been copied successfully. Now I open my house plan file from Vitro CAD repository. Here, toilet pan XREF path is inserted from the other project in the repository. Vitro CAD fully supports XREFs. To show you support of attached and overlaid XREF, I'll make some changes. Here you can see my lovely house and 6 XREFs: beds, bowls, toilet pans, my Porsche in cars XREF, my mother-in-law sitting in guests XREF, and my lovely helicopter. As my wife decided I need to move more, she asks me to sell my helicopter and my Porsche and to bike for the office. First, I detach a helicopter XREF and then delete my Porsche from cars XREF. Done. You can see the half of the problem is solved and Vitro CAD displayed XREF correctly. To show you work with attached XREF, I'll insert spot equipment to bike file. Then, here is my bike XREF. Let me overlay my Porsche with a small craft, my helicopter, and I have bought recently Harley Davidson into the bike XREF. Finally, my bike file is ready and it has spot equipment file attached and all other files overlaid. And then I add completed bike XREF into my house plan. As a result, only bike and spot equipment is visible and all overlaid XREF in a bike file can't be seen here by my lovely wife. Attribute synchronization is one of the most frequently used Vitro CAD functions, and it's available in Vitro CAD plugins for all supported CAD applications. When we speak about attribute synchronization, we mean an acquisition of specified project properties, project folder names, and file properties such as a file name and file path into a drawing title block area. In general, you can set up an acquisition rules as you need. Here you can see some title block data locations. For this demonstration, let us open a drawing saved in Vitro CAD repository. As you can see, there are empty fields in title block area. Previously, I have set up the rules for title block to acquire the properties value from a number of specified locations. Let me open Vitro CAD tab and choose Attribute Synchronization function. Right, done. In my example, designer ID block is synchronized from a XML file, which contains designer name, address, and other data. All this data is global for the repository. Then I have project ID block. This data is stored in project library CAD and contains project name, building address, and is constant for all the files and drawings inside this project. And in the bottom I have sheet ID block, which contains sheet title and drawing number. In my example, drawing number is a calculated field. Here A means architectural and acquired from the upper folder. 2 means exterior elevation and has been set up in the drawing properties. And 06 is a sequence number of this drawing. I would like to show you how to change project information. Let me open Project Library CAD and make some changes. I would like to change project address for St. John Street, project city for City of London, and building name for Vitro CAD building. OK, done. Then let us synchronize attributes once again. As you can see, Project ID block acquired all data changes from Library CAD. To learn more about our solution, pricing, or other ways we can help, please contact us through the form on our website. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.